Hey everybody, it's Tasty Thursday. Now I am super excited today to share with you about our brand new series. This will take us several weeks. This series will last, and it's going to be really exciting. I came up with this idea because I recently went on a trip, and one of the places I went to was a place called Epcot Center. And one of the great things about Epcot Center, actually my favorite thing about the whole park experience, was they had different countries that you could visit. And so I had supper in Mexico, and then right after Mexico I went to China and did some souvenir shopping, and then I bought some snacks in France. It was really cool, all within a short walk. So that got me thinking about all the amazing kinds of foods that are prepared all over the world. So every Thursday for the next several weeks we're going to be making a recipe from a different country. So we're starting today with the United States of America, which is where most of us live. So, some of you know that some of your moms use a crock pot for dinners. Some of your moms don't. I happen to like the crock pot. Crock pot is typically a northern United States method of cooking. Today we're combining a north and south recipe to come up with our dish for today. So we're going to be using our crock pot, which is the north part, and we're going to be making barbecue ribs, which is the south part. That's one of Taste Tester's favorite foods, is ribs. So the first thing you need is a crock pot, and your crock pot needs to be turned on low. Okay, now we don't have very many ingredients here. The main ingredient, of course, is our ribs, and I just bought these at my local butcher, and they came as a big rack. I've cut it in half so they fit in my crock pot. Then you need any kind of barbecue sauce that you like. We happen to like a kind called No. 7 at our house. And then our secret ingredient is something called Country Bob sauce. I have to show you this. This is Country Bob. He's actually on the bottle. Isn't that cool? So what we're going to do first is you're going to use a set of tongs to put your ribs into the crock pot. This is so simple. So you put your ribs just right in the crock pot. Alright, so we've got them laid in there. There they are. They don't look very good right now. They're raw. Never eat raw meat. It's not good. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is take a large measuring cup or measuring bowl, and we're going to put in 2 cups of barbecue sauce. Now this size bottle, it usually takes the entire bottle. Okay. Yep, and that's just about every last little bit. Just a little more coming out there. Okay. And so now we're going to add some Country Bobs. We add 1 cup of Country Bobs. Pour that in. And it's going to take close to the full bottle of this too. Actually, maybe we'll take the whole bottle. Okay. So now all you do is mix these 2 together. You want to just get them blended before you pour them over the ribs. And after they're blended, you put the lid on your slow cooker, and then you just wait. You just wait for 8 hours. You just let the slow cooker do all the work. Okay. That's the great thing about slow cookers, that you can just put it in there and leave, and then you come home and supper's ready. That's the best part. Okay. So now we're going to just pour the sauce over the ribs. I'm going to be sure they're all drenched. Okay. Alright, got a little bit of rib peeking out here. We're going to cover this up with sauce. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to just put the lid on. And we will be back in 8 hours. There's actually one more step, but it is as simple as this part. So we're going to just let this cook for 8 hours. In the meantime, we're going to have some special guests appearing that you've never seen before. So stay tuned for that. That'll be exciting. But for now, I'm going to go on with the rest of my day while supper's cooking. I actually just finished breakfast and I'm already cooking supper. Can you believe it?
Americans eat about 30 pounds of lettuce every year. That's about 5 times more than what we ate in the early 1900s. In the U.S., corn is used in more than 4,200 different ways. ranging from livestock feed and ethanol, a kind of car fuel, to cornbread and soda, to latex paint and diapers. In 1995, United States astronauts took potato plants into space on Space Shuttle Columbia. This was the first time any food was ever grown in space. More than 1 billion pounds of pumpkins are produced in the United States each year. Illinois tops the nation in pumpkin production.
Okay, so it's been 8 hours already. That was fast, wasn't it? So we have one more step before our ribs are ready to eat, and that is we need to preheat our oven to 425, 450, and then we need to bake them for a little bit. Now the reason we bake them, you could eat them out of the slow cooker this way, but to get real southern ribs, you have to get a little bit of a crust on the outside. You get some of the sauce a little bit burned, so that's what we're going to do in the oven. So what we need to do is take a baking dish and some foil. Now I use foil just because it's easier to clean up. So you're going to take your baking dish and just line it with foil. Just press it into the corners. Alright, and now we're going to take the lid off of our ribs. I don't even really like ribs and they smell delicious. Taste tester is going to go nuts. Okay, so what you want to do now is just use your tongs. Now I've washed these because once you use tongs with raw meat, you always have to wash them in very, very hot water and soap before you use them again so you can get all the germs off. So we're going to just take our ribs and pick them up, and some of them might fall into little pieces, and we're going to just put them in our baking dish. Sometimes they don't want to come out. They're so tender. You can see some of them are just falling apart. Whoop. Here's a rib all by itself. We won't need to bake that. Okay, and here, let's see. Scoop this batch out. Now after we get all of our ribs out, we're going to just put some of the sauce over the top. Okay. Get them arranged here so that all of them are flat, so when we put the sauce on, everything gets covered in sauce. And I think we maybe lost, no, I guess it was just a rib. Another rib. I thought it was we lost some actual rib meat, but we didn't. It's just so tender, it fell right off the bone. So, now we're going to just take our crock pot and tip it a little bit. You might want your adult assistant to help you with this part. And just drizzle the sauce over the ribs. Just like this. Get them good and saucy. Okay. Let's see. Maybe just a little bit more sauce. We don't want it to go to waste. That would be a shame. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So what we're going to do now is put them in our oven that's preheated to mine is at 425, and we're going to just let these bake for about 30 minutes. Now, at 30 minutes, you'll take them out and you're going to let them sit for a few minutes, but we'll cover that one at a time. For now, these are going to bake for 30 minutes, and I get to clean up the slow cooker mess. Alright, so as you can see, our ribs are finished cooking, and they are a nice dark brown color. That's exactly how you want them to turn out. So you'll see that I've already got the plate started, the serving plate. Southern rib dinner consists of, or I've been told, consists of your ribs, some mashed potatoes with the skins on, corn and cornbread, and of course, the official Southern beverage, sweet tea. So we have all of that here. So I'm going to go ahead and serve up a rack of ribs, or actually, ooh, that's hot. I better get a hot pad. Okay. So we've got our ribs. We're going to put those right on the plate. And then we're going to serve up some piece of cornbread. Nice and golden brown. And here we have our Southern rib dinner. Taste tester is going to go crazy over this, I think. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. When you make ribs, you want to have an extra little plate or bowl because as you eat the meat off the ribs, you need somewhere to put the bones. You don't want to just leave them on your plate. So I usually use just a small plate, and that works perfectly. So I'm going to go find taste tester, see if we can sniff around in this thing. When's the time to eat? It smells so good.
Get my borders and taste the bun sleep. It's time to eat.